This is NewsBreak26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. A 31-year-old man from Musquash has been charged in connection with the death of a 26-year-old woman from Rossay. Sarah Teakles was reported missing on April 15th. Her body was found 2 days later in Maces Bay after police located her vehicle and used a K9 unit to assist in the search. On April 21st, Calvin Burns-Smith was arrested while already in custody on unrelated matters. He appeared in court on April 22nd, charged with manslaughter and indignity to a dead body. He remains in custody and is due back in court April 28th.
Last week we entered into a missing person investigation based off a call from a member of the public. So we started that as a missing person investigation. As we proceeded, the circumstances surrounding the person going missing became suspicious, so we engaged our major crime team from Fredericton, and they currently are leading on the investigation. So the investigation is still very active, and I've been working on it here nonstop for the past week or so.
Are you still collecting more information? If the public has anything that might be helpful, what's the best way for them to provide that?
Absolutely. If people have information they think might be of value, or they want to something they think now that they look back that might assist us, they can certainly call.
RCMP are urging anyone with information to come forward. Tips can be shared anonymously through the RCMP Major Crime Unit at 1-888-506-RCMP. Information can also be provided anonymously through Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. The investigation remains active and ongoing. Watch CHCO's full 30-minute interview about current local policing issues with Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Peters and Corporal Peter Lambert on the next episode of Southwest Magazine. Some local councils are considering a reduction in seats at the table. For more on this, here is CHCO's Nathalie Sturgeon.
The councils in St. Stephen and St. Andrews could have less seats around the horseshoe this time next year. Both councils are looking at proposals to reduce the number of councillors in the chamber. St. Stephen could reduce to 6 plus the mayor. St. Andrews could cut 3 positions to 6 plus the mayor. But why is this happening? Well, through amalgamation, many councils were re-elected, but some simply added positions to represent new areas. It meant that some councils found themselves over-indexed.
The facilitator said you will be over-indexed, but that's something you'll have to figure out for the next election. So we're at that time.
Yeah, during the amalgamation process, I think the transition facilitator there noted that best practices are typically between 1,000 and 1,500 people per councillor. So we still have some room for population growth.
In St. Andrews, the ratio is about 275 to 350 residents per councillor. In comparison to St. Stephen, which has double the population, it is between 744 to 1,100 residents per councillor. The main concern for St. Andrews Council were maintaining Bayside's representation around the table, given its unique industrial and agricultural needs. Meanwhile, some St. Stephen councillors felt population growth and that status quo were working well. Others wanted the council reduced, as well as transitioning the mayoral role to full-time. Council in St. Andrews will have staff begin the work to either adjust the procedural bylaw or create a standalone bylaw that will reflect the desire of the council. St. Stephen was more divided, with an even number of council wanting the composition to be left alone and half wanting it reduced.
Comparing ourselves to other municipalities, we do have a large council. There's no doubt about it.
I know it's hard to do, and we do this in a lot of things we talk about. You have to separate the seats from the people that are in them.
Any changes to the council composition require a public hearing of objections and a vote of the council.
Thanks, Nathalie. Finally, Elections Canada reports 7.3 million Canadians voted early in the federal election, a 25% increase from the 5.8 million who voted in advanced polls in 2021 during the federal election that took place during the COVID-19 pandemic. The significant rise in early voter engagement speaks to the importance of this election for many Canadians. If you still haven't cast your vote and you live in the St. John-St. Croix riding, be sure to watch Meet Your Candidates most weekday nights at 7 p.m. on CHCO-TV or anytime on CHCO's YouTube channel. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, visit CHCO and the Courier online at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.